I've just finished my CFR program, and when I first came here, I had a pinched nerve, one of many things, but the pinched nerve, I couldn't walk. I just could not walk. I went through a 3-day seminar with it, and by the time the 3 days were up, I was walking perfectly. Pinched nerves hurt, and the pain is gone. It has never come back. So I continued with the program with Melissa for, well, it's been like 4 or 5 weeks now since then. And I went to having really bad pains in my knees, which are gone. I have a terrible case of neuropathy, and that's getting better because Melissa has taught me that in order for you to take care of your body, you have to start thinking about what your body needs. What your body needs, how you need to go about doing it, making things work evenly and in progress. I just am thrilled that I came here. I was very fortunate to have someone that known her and started me on this program. And I'm working on my weight loss, and everything seems, it's helping the neuropathy, everything seems to be going great. I am a very happy person right now. I'm 72 years old, and I'm going to live to be 92.
I'm Jim Salas, owner of Acme Valley Key Service. I had 4 epidurals. I had PT, and the next course of my pain doctor says, well, the only alternative is surgery. When I first came here, I couldn't walk up steps, I couldn't walk down steps, and I couldn't stand on my 4-foot ladder, which I work on top of doors. I'm back to doing everything. There is no more pain in my L45S1, and I cannot expound, I cannot say how much better I feel in a short period of time. I'm infatuated, I'm excited, there's not enough to say. I'm cured. It's unbelievable. It was a great experience. It's well worth it.
Hi, I'm Chris. I've been in law enforcement for 30 years, and I came to CFR with injuries pretty much all over my body. Knees, hips, lower back, cervical, shoulders. I had surgery on my shoulder a year ago, and I'm pending 2-level artificial disc replacement surgery. And after 48 hours with CFR, I mean, it sounds like a miracle, but my pain is like 90% less than what it was, and I'm really second-guessing myself regarding if I'm even going to have the surgery. And at this point, I think I probably won't, but I have more hope for my healing and my ability to be able to return to an active life than I've had for years. It really does feel like a miracle. I'm a student of the brain, so I'm not surprised that the brain can, heal our body. I just didn't know how to do that. And I feel like with CFR, I've been given the tools to let my brain heal my body. And I'm really, really excited about it. The beginning of the class, I couldn't even lay down on my back flat. I had to have my knees elevated. I was in a lot of lower back pain, even attempting to straighten my legs. I couldn't hold it at all. Now I'm very even and relaxed on the floor without pain. And I walked my dog last night, and where I felt some thoracic tightness by the end of the walk just from moving my body in a way that I learned in CFR, I felt that tension just release, and it was just kind of paying attention to it and giving my body permission to let go of it. It was amazing. And I mean, just the emotional piece of what the staff brought to me, not realizing what I was holding on to and was manifesting in my body, and figuring out what that was and to let go of that. I not only feel physically better, my spirit, my mind, my emotion, everything feels lighter. Like, I get that if I don't take care of my body, it's not going to be able to take care of me. I just feel so much hope for, you know, the next stage of my life, and how I can be active and strong and fit and happy. Highly recommend it.
I am. I'm a professor of nursing, a nurse practitioner. I'm working on my doctorate degree, so I'm pretty busy. I really didn't think that I would be able to do the movements. And the first time they said to get on the floor, I wasn't sure that was going to happen. I couldn't imagine it, but I tried it, and I'm getting up and down for the past 3 days off the floor fairly easily. Oh gosh, I haven't sat on a floor for years. I haven't even tried, and I was always afraid if I was ever on the floor I'd never be able to get back up. And we learned lessons where using good body mechanics, I guess, a good function of the skeletal system to be able to stand up and sit down and not get hurt. I don't know, the second lesson though, I was angry. I didn't want to give up the control that I've had over my body because I felt like having that control would prevent me from having more pain. And I was really scared, and I was afraid to let go of the control because I thought that I'd have more pain. But what ended up happening was, we've been here for 3 days, and the past 2 days I have woken up without pain. Since my hip surgery, I haven't been able to sleep through the night without pain or get up out of bed without pain. And now 2 days in a row. It's amazing. Anything is possible if you let go of old beliefs and that self-talk that we have that tells us we can't do things. The knowing that I'd have chronic pain for the rest of my life, and now there's possibilities that with some more work I could be pain-free. I really believe that's possible now. I didn't see that before. I have an appointment with my surgeon in a few weeks, and we were looking at doing a hip replacement. I'm not even going to talk to him about that now. I don't think it's necessary.
My name is Magda Gorecka. I'm a physical therapist working with children in the Bay Area. And after our 3-day workshop with CFR, I feel like I can be close to being a child again. Having fun, feeling my body moving in all new areas that sometimes became forgotten, and feel happy, light. Well, I had a very nice change working with one of the lessons when we were able to differentiate our fingers and work with the shoulder mobility, which changed completely my shoulder girdle and how much freedom there was. And surprisingly, on top of that, there were some changes that actually happened within my upper jaw and my palate. I don't know, it just changed. I don't know, it just wants to smile. It just spread out and became bigger and softer, and I don't know, some things are just surprising. Our body takes it in and brings you all the goodies you need.
I'm Joan Marie Wood. I live in Oakland, California. I heard about the CFR training through my PT, and I was very curious. I've had a series of lower body injuries and sort of chronic, several chronic pain situations. Part of me felt like, how could this possibly really work? It's been an amazing experience for me. One of my goals was to be able to walk without pain, and I've been doing it. So I couldn't really walk for more than 10 minutes without feeling some kind of triggering in my PT tendon. My knee pain is a little different. It comes when I make certain moves with my leg, or if I hit it with my hand or against the table leg. So I think, actually, I'm just realizing right now, as I'm talking to you, that what's happened with that is I feel a lot less fear and vulnerability around this. I had such heightened feeling of fear around it, and that seems to have relaxed. When I drove here this morning, I got in the car and I turned my head. I could turn my head twice as far as I was able to. I feel absolutely no hesitation to recommend this work for anybody, I think, but speaking as someone who's 72 and wanting to stay active, and I feel like anybody who's experienced a sense of limitation later in life, just don't give in to that idea that aging is, where it's at and you're just going to come apart or decrease in function. I think this work has the possibility to renew you from a very, very deep level. And it's also presented in a way that you can take what you need right then from it. Your experience is what matters most to the people that are leading this work. Well, I moved from feeling a little uncertain but curious, not willing to invest myself very much, to feeling very held in a safe place to be who I was right then, on a body level, especially in an emotional level. I feel like I have an understanding now and a way to work with that. I was so focused on fixing my knee, that I didn't have a sense of my whole body as being participating in that injury in some way. And now I feel hopeful and excited and curious to explore that. My whole body walks now, but I feel it in my entire torso and shoulders and head. I didn't want to stop walking. Before the day that we met, and I fell. I tripped on the sidewalk. I came in a stirred up state, and I almost didn't come to the workshop because I thought, can I do this? But my doctor was encouraging and said, you can do it. So that completely went out of my radar screen. After the first day, that sense of being kind of like shook up from that experience, I haven't even thought about it until right now. What replaced it was a sense of relaxation and presence, and in this sort of safe holding place. My whole system relaxed and let go. And then I was involved in what we were doing, and I was no longer thinking, I was just present in my body. So I think it's the invitation to be present.
My name's Lisa Bennon-Haley. I'm a family nurse practitioner. I came to the CFR workshop and not really knowing what CFR was. I trusted and came, and by far feel as though I'm leaving this space transformed, not only as a person, but as a healthcare practitioner. One of the things that I struggle with in practice is the lack of time in order to form a human connection. I'm going to have a much deeper connection with my patients and be able to address chronic pain and other chronic problems that we haven't been able to find an answer for due to the fact that those tensions and issues lie deep inside of who they are as people. So for anyone who works in healthcare and believes that there is a different way of approaching care within our current medical community, I strongly suggest this course, not only to bring tools to your own practice, but also to heal yourself and to prevent burnout as one of the highest and most challenging parts of our jobs.
My name is Cynthia, and I just finished a CFR seminar. The idea that you could go directly to the motherboard and retool it and bring back what you used to have The ease that you used to live with, the ease that you used to move with was incredible. I came because I had some severe numbness coming down my arms where I would wake up at night completely numb. And it would take me a half hour to try to get my hands back. And the last session that we had, I realized where the issue was and why I had the issue. And it wasn't my work as an esthetician and a body worker that was causing the issue. I discovered that there was a real emotional connection. It was anger, and let everything kind of come together. Then the numbness in this hand was gone, and had a little bit of the residual in this one. So that was fascinating, that whole mind-body connection. We think it's there, it's not something that we can quantitatively say exists, but it exists in your body. The evidence is in your body. And I felt that today. I couldn't believe how on point it was. Unbelievable work, and CFR does it.
Hi, my name is Ryan Chase. I just finished a CFR session because I was having some shoulder issues. I've had 3 shoulder surgeries over the last 8 years, really starting from when I was 21 years old in a surfing accident. And you know, just normal PT really wasn't solving my issue. I enjoy surfing, I play a lot of golf, I play volleyball, I like to swim. You know, anything involving the ocean, you know, is really a passion of mine. And I had my last shoulder surgery about 18 months ago. And I said this time that I'm going to do something different. I came up here just looking for a way to get my shoulder to move the way that I wanted it to, not realizing that it was connected to my body, and that the way that I move my core and my hips and my shoulders really has an impact on me moving my arm. And it's really been a completely different experience, bringing myself back to being present inside of my body. This week was exactly what I was looking for. I can feel my ribs again. Before I started this week, basically from the bottom of my ribs up to my neck was all one piece. It all moved together. I couldn't differentiate anything inside of my body. And now, you know, I could feel my hips, I can feel my ribs, I can feel my spine. I had a lot of stress and tightness in my neck. I literally felt it just melt away. And I'm really looking forward to getting home and putting what I've learned here at my CFR session into my daily routine. I am not the same person that I was when I came here. I literally have transformed into another person, and I just want to thank the CFR team.
What most fascinated me was the possibility of being able to change neural pathways of conditioning and patterns and all the kind of like deep emotional habitual ways of being by working through the physical body. And so it's not really just about loosening up the body, but also about relieving emotional pain and changing patterns that maybe have come down from one generation to another, and going below the sensor so that we can really get to those things and turning them around through the agency of the physical, through the tissues.
My name is Bill. I just finished a CFR seminar. So I came up here because the last 2 years I've been really sedentary. And, you know, I'd had trouble with my feet, and so wasn't walking well, so couldn't go places. Because I'd gone to everybody about what was wrong with me, and I couldn't get any solutions. And so came here wanting to get, really because I love surfing, so I really wanted to get more flexibility so I could surf again. And let alone walk. So, and the seminar provided all of that, and it's ongoing, and it's like, and it infused that motion and the flexibility in me. It also brought up a lot of things, because I'd done body work before and knew that there was things stuck in trauma type things, kind of stuck in different places of my body, and so those came up also, as well as just looking at what I really wanted in life. Before, you know, when I couldn't walk at all, now it's like I have all this motion in my hips and in my ankles, and everything's so much easier and exciting to where I want to go places and I want to, you know, pump up a hill. Just the flexibility and it's like I just sit around moving all my bones and going, wow, look at that. I didn't know that happened. And it's so exciting and I love it.
So I myself had been 18 months after being thrown from a horse. At the point I called Harriet, my body had just closed down. Driving was hard. I couldn't go upstairs. I couldn't go up an incline. I couldn't cook. By all accounts, I'd say to friends, I'm in some way really close to being crippled, only I don't look like it. I look really healthy, and everybody thinks that I'm more capable than I am, but I'm so struggling, and I'm so fearful that everything is closing down, and nobody can work on me. I've been through 5 different physical therapists. And where I've gone in a week from being able to now go upstairs, when I came in a week ago, 4 stairs max. I, in the middle of doing the work, got so exuberant, I did 120 stairs, which we laughed about. And I would burst into tears and say, I can't believe I'm moving. Unbelievable that that part is letting go and moving and that I have this mobility. So the journey in 1 week has been phenomenal, where any physical therapist that was trying to do it was, even the most gentle ones were really not getting cooperation. So I just believe her work is so informed, so direct, she's so clear in what she's doing and what the cortical field re-education is that I'm just blown away. I feel like it's really honestly miraculous.
So my first introduction to CFR was at a deep bodywork and CFR class. In the first lesson, my back went in. My back had been out chronically since an old horse riding accident about 15 years ago. So I was a believer, even though it was very confusing, very difficult, lots of emotional processing. And I went away thinking this truly changes people. And one of my friends said to me after we witnessed Harriet doing a demonstration, if it's that easy, what are we doing with all our deep tissue and our efforting? I'm just going to read an email that I got from a lady I worked on after doing the CFR class and having had that inform my work. And she said, thank you very much for 2 truly transformative sessions. You changed my body movement in 2 sessions. Amazing. And so I'm filled with the possibility of what CFR, in conjunction with the 17 years of body work, can do to not just make people feel good for an hour, but to actually change the way they move through the world. That I am approaching the world with new eyes and a new, more fluid body. And I look forward to all the possibilities.
38 years! No more 3-wheel bike! Woo! Woo!
I'm Kelly Courier. I'm from Michigan. I was diagnosed with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis at the age of 10. I was so restricted on so many things that I couldn't do. For example, eating. I would take a spoon and hold on to the spoon and I could get about here. Now, working for 3 months with Judy, I can bring it to my mouth and I could even feed the next person behind me if I wanted to. Being able to get up like this and stand up straight without any pain on my feet. I can actually jog. I've done things I never thought I'd ever do again. And I do it automatically now. I don't even think about it. This arm was probably about to here, and this arm maybe here. And now I can stretch it up over my head like this. Which of course has brought so many more possibilities in my life. You're going to gain so much more and so much mobility, and just being able to go like that and stretch, and it's just been an amazing adventure.
I've been practicing Qigong for the last 4 years, and it's led me on a path to try and resolve a lot of physical issues. Back surgery 25 years ago that created lots of nerve spasms and shaking. CFR retreat in Esalen, amazing discoveries, both physically and emotionally and spiritually and at every level. It just all evolves organically, naturally, and amazing progress can be made. So if anybody is on a path to try to find out the truth of themselves, Qigong helped, meditation helps, therapy helps. They all help, but they don't do the totality of what is needed in order to resolve the really deep-rooted issues, cellular issues. And this work really does. So the key to this work is that it unlocks the multiple doors that allow you to progress and to get back to the truth of who you are and to move and operate in a real sense of authenticity.
Hello, my name is Beth McGill, and I started CFR because I had a horrible back injury. I'm a dancer and choreographer, and I teach dance full-time at a college, and I didn't want to stop dancing, and I was really scared that I might have to stop teaching if I was in this much pain for the rest of my life. So I started the work, and it took me not only through the pain to a healthy back, and I've been able to perform and continue teaching, but it's also really shaped how I view myself in the world and in relationship to others. And it's a journey that I'm continuing, and it's formed a foundation that I think will carry me through the rest of my life.
Hi, my name is Lori Heisel. I have been in chronic back and neck pain for about 23 years. I have done everything. I have had two lower back surgeries, and I've had epidurals, I've had physical therapy, I've had acupuncture. I've spent years working in Pilates or yoga, anything to try to relieve or decrease my pain. I lost my career over it. I also haven't been able to swim, which is something I've loved to do. I was a competitive swimmer growing up, and it's something I had continued to do up until my lower back surgery, as well as my... I'd swam a little bit after the surgeries, but then my neck became so unbearable that I couldn't even swim anymore, and even walking was a problem. It pretty much has ruled my life for the last 23 years. And finally, an orthopedic surgeon said, okay, you have to have 3-level fusion in your neck, and a second opinion neurosurgeon said the same thing. And I just felt that after having lower back surgery, it might not be the right course for me, but I was desperate, and the date was set, and I was ready to go in and have it done. And it was recommended by the acupuncturist to try CFR with Melissa, and I don't even think about surgery anymore. I swim. I see a future that I didn't think was possible. I plan things that require physically able to do that I would never dream of doing. I go to movies. I sit for hours in a chair that I wasn't able to do before. Traveling on a plane. Well, I don't think about doing surgery. I rarely need medications anymore, and I was on them a lot. It's changed my life, and a person like me who's been in chronic pain for 23 years, it can change you too. I just really recommend it. That's all I can say. Just, try it.
I'm Carrie Ann. I'm a massage therapist and also a Pilates instructor, and I clearly work with bodies all the time, and I really was kind of shocked and surprised about certain feelings and connections that I wasn't aware of, that I discovered through my own body, that I clearly see how it will change the way that I work with my clients on all levels. And I am leaving here not only in less pain than I came with physically, but also a lighter person. I feel more congruent with myself. I'm happy happier and freer and really, really excited to leave this space and continue this exploration out in the rest of the world with everyone around me.
My name is Michael, and I just finished a CFR seminar. I felt like I struck gold. I've been a body worker for over 25 years. My attention was on everybody else's body, and mine basically got left in the dust. And it was in this class that I realized that trend didn't have to continue, that I could turn the course and reclaim my youth and be functional again as compared to not functional. And that's how that was the trend that I had created for years. So I feel like I've been reborn, might be a bit much, but inspired and hopeful for the future.
My name is Bob Ferber, and I came to CFR because I was in horrible, excruciating pain in my neck for several years. I went to pain doctors, pain specialists. I had epidurals. I was on everything, including OxyContin. I tried everything, physical therapy, acupuncture, you name it, I tried it. I did everything doctors said. The only thing they said that possibly could work was surgery. And I went years with pain and didn't want to do surgery. I was at the point where I thought I was going to have to do it, and somewhat reluctantly or suspiciously tried CFR. The simple thing to tell you is that I am now completely pain-free. It happened in a remarkable process that wasn't just learning how to manage and eliminate my pain, but it changed everything in my life. I learned the source of that pain wasn't just from something mechanical, but had a lot to do with the way I was approaching my life. And having just retired from a 33-year position, I now have recreated my life, my relationships with people, with myself, with my environment. Just my level of joy and happiness has honestly gone from a 3 or 4 to a 10. And I'm doing this testimonial not because I was asked, but because I want other people to know that this is available to them, and that just when you think that there's nothing else that can help, try CFR. It's changed my life.
Hi, my name is Betty Salazar, and I have been in the CFR program. It was recommended to me by someone who was a physical therapist, patient who had hip replacement and was not in the norm, not doing well. I was looking for something else, and I believe I found it, because in such a short time I not only have great improvement in my hip pain, leg pain, and much more mobility, being able to climb stairs that I couldn't do before January without being bedridden the next day. I'm also taking dance lessons, which was my